Today, I'm going to be setting up for the month of October in my reading journal, so stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm Tracy and I want to welcome you back to my channel. And yes, I'm going to be creating a fun witchy spread in my reading journal for the month of October. And the inspiration for this theme came from a reading challenge that I will be doing. It is put on by Erin Smith Art. I will link the video down in the description box where she went over the rules and explained the reading challenge, but she also has quite a few documents on a Google Drive that has all of the rules, the scoring, as well as a few graphics. But with this theme, I just went to town. I went to Creative Fabrica. I printed out so many pieces of artwork from Creative Fabrica. Pretty much everything that I have printed off is from Creative Fabrica. So that's what I'm going to be using today. I'm going to be pairing it with all different types of washi. This one came from Cora Creative Crafts. All the rest of it, I'm not sure where. I know these two came from Live Love Posh. These, not 100% sure. But that's what I pulled today to at least get me started. I think I'm going to be making a pocket, probably with the green. And I also have the Wrong Halloween sticker book off to the side because it has some purple in it. And there's a lot of purple in some of these images. So I think we're just going to go ahead and get started and kind of chat along the way. I will say for this and some of these, I, had it all set up in my Cricut. That's where I did all of the offsets and stuff. And then I accidentally forgot to remove the paper that I printed this on, and it printed on regular paper, and it's a lot of ink. So I was like, I'll just cut around it, glue it, and call it a day. So that's what I'm going to do. So this one I actually kind of combined two images into one from Creative Fabrica. It is a paid service. I pay like $47 a year and I can use unlimited amounts of artwork. But it was the books and then the little witch was separate. So I put the little witch on top of the books because I thought that was super duper cute. And I wanted books in my spread too because this is a reading journal. So I think that's how I want it. All right, so yes, I'm going to go ahead and glue down the image of the girl standing on books, or the witch standing on books. I will say this image is a little bit different from all of the other images that I end up using in the spread, mainly just the color palette. It's a little bit darker. I don't really want to say it's gothic because it's still like with the witch, it's a little fun, but it definitely is a little bit of a different color palette. So you will see the next 4 spreads I create is a little bit different than this one, but it's fine. I do want to just mention I did make a smaller calendar this month than I had in previous months because I really don't need all the space. I just put one little dot in the date that I read a specific book. Maybe there might be 2 dots on a day that I end a book and then start a new book, but I can still fit 2 dots in that space. So I did make it smaller so I can go ahead and move my TBR for my annual readathon challenges onto that page. And those challenges is the Year Goober, the Adventures in Aldea, and the Buzzword Reading Challenge. All right, so this is where I am going to have this month's readathon challenge, the Bewitched Book Challenge, and I am going to do a Dutch door. Door as in singular. I'm not going to do multiple Dutch doors. It would just take away too much of the page if I did more than one Dutch door. And I think one Dutch door alone with the cutouts gives it enough interest that really, you really don't need more than one. I am going to add the washi just because the only stickers I'm going to put above the girl are going to be bats. So I needed something there to kind of anchor it when I actually do my cutouts. And I do like how the washi does end up looking. I think it looks nice, especially because it is a star washi. It kind of goes a little bit with the theme. And I will say cutting this out with scissors was pretty easy. I didn't have to bust out the X-Acto knife or anything like that, just because it was just simple shapes. It wasn't anything super intricate or anything of that nature. Now you will see momentarily, I decided that behind this Dutch door, I would just use washi instead of other stickers. And the washi's, what I decide to do is create a waterfall edge or waterfall tab, or however you want to talk about it. So typically what a real waterfall tab is you would have a page and you would cut the pages in front of it just a tad shorter. So every page in front of the previous page is just a little bit shorter than the one behind it. And then you put washi along the edges of the page. So then you can see all these different color washi's. When you're on that first page, you can see all the other washi's for all the other pages. And it gives you that waterfall effect. I'm going to create that as a faux version because I'm going to be putting all the washi's on one singular page. Again, I just don't need all of the extra pages for this particular spread. I will be creating pages for reading reviews, but I really do need the space for the writing. Plus, I don't know how many pages I really need for those reviews. So I'm like, let's just limit it to just decorating these 6 pages. Therefore, I'm going to do one Dutch door, and then I'm going to create faux waterfall tabs on 2 pages that will go behind the Dutch door image. I will say though, you can't tell because it's sped up, but putting the washi on this page and figuring out the correct pattern and how everything lined up and fit took forever. It really did. I felt like it took like 30 minutes. I don't think it took that long. It probably took 10, but it felt like it took forever. I was ready to give up. Mainly, the main reason was the one washi, the really deep purple, it was just too thick and it didn't look right when I put the Dutch door, when I closed it. It was just too thick. I thought the thinner washi looked better. So to remedy that, I just layered it with the thinner washi. So it cut the thick washi in half. I could have put it on a cutting mat and cut it with my X-Acto knife, but that's just an extra step I really didn't want to do. So I did end up just layering on top of washi to make it thinner. Like I said, it did take a while, and it takes pretty much just as long when I have to redo the pattern on the other page. So that way when you flip the Dutch door, you see the same pattern on both sides, no matter which way the Dutch door is flipped. But yeah, in the end, I really think it's a cute effect. I love the washi pattern that I created. I only used 3 different colors. So I used the black and white star one again, the deep purple one that's super thick, and then I sandwiched it between some really light purple. And again, I think it looked really nice, and fortunately, it didn't take up too much room. It still allowed me enough room to put a pocket on the page, and still has some breathing room between the pocket and the washi, which is always a good thing. So yeah, there's my pocket. I do want to just mention that the paper is really, really thin. It's just regular, like, I guess, pound of paper. It's scrapbook paper, but it's just thin. So I did like kind of double it over. So that way it's a little bit thicker and hopefully it won't rip or anything of that nature. And it's a little bit bigger than the actual cards that go inside. So that way I have a little bit of wiggle room and hopefully that won't cause it to tear either. So yeah, for the rest of this, I'm just going to go ahead and stick down stickers. Like I said, this 2-page spread is going to be dedicated solely to the reading challenge. On the other 2 pages that I end up creating, that's just for my monthly wrap up and my monthly stats and things of that nature. I'll just throw a few stickers on those pages just because I do need the writing space there. But with that, what I'll do is I'll just let you finish watching me kind of throw some stickers on the page, and I will come back at the end to wrap things up. All right, guys, there we go. So this is my setup for October. I really, really like it. This cover page has a little bit of a different vibe than the rest, but I think it still works. It still works. And then I really love this. So this is just my 2-page Bewitched book challenge spread. Again, Bewitched book challenge is from Erin Smith at Erin Smith Art. And I was able to keep it to 2 pages because I did create these little smaller versions of the rules and point systems and then put it in this pocket. I do like the little faux washi tabs here, the waterfall tabs. And then I did the one Dutch door instead of multiple Dutch doors. So if you like doing Dutch doors or like the way it looks, remember, you don't have to do like multiples, especially if you don't have the room, because it really does start to take away some of your writing space. So if I added another Dutch door, let's say here, it would have taken up so much room that I would have had issues fitting everything on here. So I would have had to add probably another 2-page spread just to be able to fit all of my information on here. But just doing the one, it adds dimension and it adds interest, and it's really, really cute. And then I was able to use the same stickers front and back by just flipping the images. And that was a little less thought I had to put into it because it was like I already knew I was going to put over here. And they look cute on both sides as well. Over here, I didn't decorate too much because this is going to be a lot of text and things like that. So I wanted to, again, preserve the writing space. And then my second faux waterfall edge page. I really, really do like how that turned out. I think it turned out super cute. There we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this setup as well. Maybe it gave you some ideas. Maybe you discovered a new reading challenge you might want to take on this year. Like I said, I'll have everything linked down in the description box. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please press that like button. And if you have yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing to my channel. That's all I have for now. I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.